What is there more of? Is there more hot women or is there more high value men? There's way more hot women than there is high value men. There's only top 5 or 10% of men that are high value. There's a shit ton of women that are pretty. A shit ton of them.
But just because you're pretty doesn't mean you're high value.
It's supply and demand. It's supply and demand. If there's only 1 million high value men, but there's 10 million pretty women, it's supply and demand.
But as a high value man, you're not going to just pick a woman just because she's pretty. I would hope that you would pick her because she has a whole bunch of other attributes that would be important to you, that would make her prize worthy. Not because she's attractive, just because there's all these attractive women. That's a drop in the bucket.
Well, I'm going to explain to you. It's actually a really sad story, but yeah, we actually do mostly care about the looks. And I'm sorry that's rude.
I'm not saying looks isn't important. Looks is absolutely important. But as a true high value man, you're not just going to be looking at the looks.
You would be very surprised how many men are only looking for looks, nurturing, and loyalty.
But that's it. And that's what I said. I said only. Those other things are important. Yeah. You're describing a feminine woman.
Yeah, looks, nurturing.
Just because you have the looks, but you're a masculine woman, you're not finna get married by a high value man.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You have to have the other situation.
But I would say also, I would argue also, because I coach men in this stuff, the more pretty a woman is, sometimes the more she falls into her femininity. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some hyper masculine, beautiful women. There's some OnlyFans girls. There's girls that are multimillionaires and they're fucking drop dead gorgeous. But in my experience, some of the prettiest girls and the girls that I coach my guys to go to and stuff like that, and the place where I teach them to go, they're very pretty women, but they're also very feminine because of you understand, when you grow up as a pretty girl in high school and shit like that, and in college, you're like, you still fantasize about the Disney shit, like a man taking care of you and doing all the type of shit like that. Oh, hell no.
It could go the opposite way, because if you're a pretty young woman, you could have been taken advantage of. You could have had bad relationships. You could have been jaded. So just because you're pretty doesn't mean you didn't have those experiences.
Oh yeah, you could definitely be jaded still, but I'm just telling you, I've met some very masculine women that were ugly, and I just feel like they were masculine because they were ugly. They didn't have as much experience with men.
Sergio, you can't just say they're masculine because they're ugly. What?
I'm saying, man, sometimes, usually that's just the case. Now, a really pretty girl, though, the girls that I've messed with that I thought were the most feminine women, they ironically were also the really fucking pretty, women. They acted very womanly. I don't know why.
Yeah, because they're ready to get laid. But Sergio, you not about to be messing with a ugly woman who doesn't act feminine, because you present yourself as a high value man. So you wouldn't even interact with the women that you're talking about.
Well, looks are a big deal to certain guys, and I'm one of those guys, so I'm going to choose the pretty girl.
They are important.
Some men will go down in looks for a more feminine woman.
That's true. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with you. I have friends who literally took the girl that was a little bit more overweight because she cooks and she's very feminine and she takes care of them and all that stuff. So yeah, I agree with y'all. I just personally wouldn't do that for me.
Femininity is such a powerful force, and I don't know if you guys understand this,
but make it seem so big.
Femininity as a man, will stop you in your tracks. You'll be dating a girl, and then within a month, you'll be like, I will do anything to make sure this goes okay, literally anything. And all she had to do was just be super feminine and all that stuff. And there's very attractive women where I've dated 1 or 2 months, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. She has all these things. I don't know.
Exactly.
But in order to get to that point as a man, you have to have kind of options and be kind of sober in your, a lot of men, they go for looks only because they just, they don't get that opportunity that very often, but for guys that kind of have, I have this hot girl right here, I have this 5 out of 10, but she cooks and cleans and does everything she's supposed to, and then I have this 7 out of 10, which she's trying, right? But femininity is a very, very powerful force. Do not underestimate it, because even the most coldest, heartless players will kind of start doubting themselves over a feminine woman, right? So that right. You can be as pretty as you want, but at the end of the day, femininity is what makes. If being hot is the left hook, the femininity would be the right knockout to get that.
He said it, not me. He said it.
But understand too that I'm not going to go out of my way to approach a woman that's unattractive.
Right.
And also here's another risk. I don't want to get rejected by an unattractive woman, right? Because we all have egos, right? I went salsa dancing, and I respectfully asked a woman to dance, and she was not very attractive. but I just go there to have fun and dance. And she looked at me in disgust, right? And I thought that was disrespectful, right? But at the end of the day, now I'm angry because I went out of my way in public to ask a girl to dance, right? But then 5 10 minutes later, I was dancing with other women and enjoying myself, right? But that's a case about guys not liking unattractive women, because like the ROI is like very like, because right now unattractive women, attractive women, they're all act the same almost. Like
Yep.
they're almost all the same attitude, right?
Yep.
So why would I obviously approaching an attractive woman is scarier, right? But I'd rather like put my eggs in this basket than deal with an unattractive woman who's already masculine, right? Might as well deal with it's like we're trying to
You are
just
masculine no matter what. I might as well get the pretty one if I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Baby, we tired. We all collectively tired. I can say that.
I mean, yeah, everyone is tired.
And the only reason why I'm saying men is a prize that is kind of by track is because I put myself in the scenario where there's a majority of good dudes that like I play card games. I'm a weeb. I'm a fucking gamer. Like I know that there's going to be the higher majority of men population wise, but it's still kind of hard to fight when you got photoshopping, you got BBLs, you got like a whole tier of things you're fighting for. And for me personally, I don't have to fight no more. So what's the point?
Well, there's also a caveat with all this. Like 90% of men aren't the prize. Most men aren't. So I'm not gonna sit here and say all men are the prize.
And most women aren't the prize. All I'm saying, that's why we're both the prize, because that top 1% that I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the mediocre people. Like you're not talking about.
It's about who's chasing though, because I've had to bring this up, even with you too before. Like, you really got to chase the guy like that you want. Like I give this advice to y'all all the time. Don't get me wrong. You could be very happy with a beta bucks that comes to you and messages you all the time and does all the shit that you want. Yeah, she's being honest. At least she's being honest. She knows. But y'all will end up with those guys 6 months, a year later. Your coochie's not getting wet no more. You're wondering why I don't like this, and that shit is why you want the guy that you have to chase. We are very good at playing with y'all's emotions because y'all need it. You need to be stimulated at all times. And those fucking beta bucks don't do it. I'm a drama-filled fucker, and that's why my girl loves me. She loves the drama. She loves it. Like, you got to keep them on their feet at all times. That's how it works.
I never dealt with one.
Yeah,
well,
go ahead.
So in terms of the high-value man stuff, I think high-value man is another container word where anyone just comes in. Right. A traditional conservative will say a high-value man is someone that has like three kids by the time he's 25.
Yep.
A feminist will say a high value man is one that lets her woman kind of like do her own thing, and then at the end of the day they meet, I guess, and have dinner and then talk about work or something. I don't know.
I would say Gandhi was a high value man.
Yeah. And then some people
Martin
say
Luther King Jr.
Yeah, a high value man is a guy that's rich, or high value man is a guy that has a lot of girls, a lot of hoes, right? But the thing is this, like, you guys don't see a lot of value in men right now because there's a lot of buffers, a lot of wool being pulled over your eyes over. It's not till it's time to move. It's not until it's Christmas and you don't got anyone to. It's not until you have a death in the family and you don't have anyone to lean on. Those are the times where a lot of women start realizing, like, holy crap, like I need a man, and I need a man to lean on, right? And it's like it takes maturity for women to kind of like go through life and realize, like, I don't want to move my apartment or my house by myself. I don't want to spend Christmas by myself. And also, here's an interesting thing about y'all, and you guys fight this tooth and nail in person or like on shows like this, but deep down, you need this. You guys need to serve somebody. You need to do things for people. That's how you fall in love. Like everyone talks about high value man, what he can do for you. A high value man is a guy that's gonna be that you feel like you should be bringing him food, or you should be buying him gifts, for Christmas or whatever. That you should be like asking him how his day went, right? It's not something you can describe. It's something that you feel, right?
Yep.
So when somebody says high value man this, high value man that, that's just word. That's a container word. It doesn't mean anything. High value man, you will know, and you won't even realize it. And it's not always like money, looks, status. It's just a guy that maybe just has a good kind of mix of the three. Maybe he doesn't make six figures, but maybe he's good in bed, or maybe he's not tall, right? But he makes good money, and also he can game you. He's exciting, he like games you very well, and he's exciting, and he's it's not like something that you guys can really like contextualize in your brain. You guys gotta understand.
You can't describe
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
all those container words that you're talking about are just subjective things. That's what you mean when you say. So
It's used so the person that's using it could make themselves look good, right? Like I can say a high value man is what's my height? I'm 6'1".
Yeah.
Uh,
Broad shoulders.
yeah. A high value man is what I am, right?
right.
And then guys will be like, oh yeah, that's what I gotta be, right? And in reality, a high value man can be anyone. You know, they just gotta work on themselves and they gotta put in the work, and then eventually, they can get to that position where it's like, I don't even care what a high value man is. I'm already getting what I want out of life.
Yeah.
I don't care what so and so said or so and so said. I did it, and that's what I try to tell guys. Like, hey, don't let someone. You need to figure out what you want first. Like, what type of women you want, what type of job you want, what type of future you want for yourself. And then there's only two types of women to a man, right? There's only two types: the ones that are on his program and the ones that aren't. That's it. Right. And then maybe there's a little gray area where you're trying to see if a girl's on our program. If she's not on our program, I'm sorry. And that it protects us from this whole conversation of whether, like a girl's high value. There's only, to me, there's only one type of high value girl, a girl that's trying to be my girl. Yeah. And she's doing a good job at it. That's it. I don't care about any other girl in the world. If I see a beautiful girl across the street, I'd be like, she's beautiful, but she doesn't mean anything to me, and I probably don't mean anything to her, right? Now, if I meet and approach that girl and we go on a date and we start things, now she's a high value woman. You know why? Because she's on my program. That's what a high value woman is.
No.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Here,
I agree.
Let me go to the super chats. What's that? $5 from T.O. He said Willis Carrier and Stuart W. Kramer invented the AC. Hey, a woman didn't invent the AC. You better not be lying to me right now. You better Google it right now. Google it right now. Google it right now. She's gonna Google it right now for me, guys. Go to the next one. Google it right now. I want to know. What's the next one? Umbre of the house, $5. The worst thing a man can do is let his woman get bored. Women crave emotional rides, whether it's to please them or not. Either way, the man wins. That's sadly the truth, guys. I'm sorry. Let's get to the last question already. There's no more super chats, right? Okay, go to live chat and make sure. Oh, wait, there is one. $5 traditional modern talk. Ladies, don't you hate coming to family functions as the single lady, especially Christmas when everybody is married? That stuff hurts ladies, honestly. I don't know what that feels like, but I don't know. Y'all, maybe y'all know. Yeah. Thank y'all for the chats. Hey y'all, Sergio here. I just want to mention I've created a completely free guide that shows you exactly how I went from having low confidence and being painfully awkward around women to easily meeting and dating numerous high quality desirable women in real life without the use of any dating apps or social media. So if you're struggling to get out there, if you have approach anxiety or don't know what to say or how to interact with women to make them want you and are sick of using dating apps with low value girls that hundreds of other guys have been chatting with, click the link in the description below to grab your free guide right now. And if you want private mentorship with me personally to help guide you every step of the way in this process, check out my mentorship program in the description too. I would be happy to help you reach your dating goals and overcome any obstacle you may face. And trust me, if I can do it, you can do it too. I hope to see you soon. Peace out.